Hey folks, Odd here with part 2 of your Outer World news. Alright, so here we go folks. Syrian Rebels arm them today, fight them tomorrow. Okay, so UK and US still talking about, Senator John McCain snuck into Syria on Monday, to meet up with these top rebel commanders. As the death toll in the Civil War mounts even higher, they're still trying to give them weapons. They want this war to happen. They want World War III to start, folks. I'm telling you. So you got to check this out. UK and the US are talking about arming Syria. Okay, and Russia doesn't like that so much. Guess what Russia's doing? Russia's to send S-300 missiles to Syria, even though they said they were not going to. Then they said they were. Then they said they weren't. Well, now they are. Russia has defended its decision to supply Syria with sophisticated S-300 anti-aircraft missiles. Okay, so this is going to happen. So you guys want to look into it. That's from Press TV Global News. Also, U.S. backs EU's step to arm Syrian rebels, slams Russia's shipment to Assad. The U.S. has welcomed the EU's decision to lift an arms embargo on Syria as a show of full support for rebels fighting against President Assad. At the same, the White House has opposed Russian sales of S-300 missiles to Syria, calling it a mistake. The State Department has called for an end of the embargo on shipment of arms to rebels, saying that this step gives the flexibility of specific EU member states to support the opposition as they see fit. Acting State Department Deputy Spokesperson Patrick Mandrell said on the briefing on Tuesday. So there you go, folks. More on World War III news. It's either World War III, total destruction of our planet Earth, viruses, so on and so forth. The end's coming, regardless of which way we want to go. It's done. The world is pretty much just about over. So here we go. 3. Start it. Russian ghost ship still lost at sea? This is interesting. Remember that movie Ghost Ship? Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to get on board it. But here you go. The Outpouring cruise liner that has brought misfortune to its recent owners has now been found after disappearing almost 3 months ago and may never be seen again. It says in January, the 4,000-ton, which once provided luxurious trips to the Arctic and Antarctica for up to 110 tourists, was being tugged from Newfoundland into Canada to the Dominican Republic to be sold for scrap metal when the tow line broke during a storm. Unable to reconnect it despite several attempts, the towing boat sailed away from the vessel, whose output interiors had been destroyed by migrating rats. Real true ghost ship story. Ooh. Also, new ISS crew blast off into space just to be suffocated by Freon. So here we go, folks. The rocket has successfully lifted off, and they are now heading to the ISS base station. From RT, just happened today. Also, the Outpouring, the final revival, Signs in Heaven, Harvest of Souls. This is from Living Grace, if you guys want to check it out. This title pretty much speaks for itself. We're coming to that time. Also, a new unknown comet in a giant coronal hole in a WTF. Venus the Comet. This is the second part of the Thor news thing that I just showed you on my first one. And he has a very good point. When Venus transitions the sun, yes, it's high up on the sun, but it passes in front of the sun. Now Venus is like way the heck up there. So very interesting info, Thor. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, he has some really good Thor stories, or Thories. Also here, a magnitude 7.0 earthquake gently rocks Wellington, New Zealand. How come it's not showing up anywhere? Here's the 6.2. Then the 7.0 down over here, that's Christchurch. I heard something that there might have been one today, but I don't see anything on the maps. But also, heavy rains turn roads into rivers in Norway, Texas, and all over the daggone place in reality. Also, the Chile volcano erupting, extremely crazily. And then also, Frenchman dies of the new coronavirus after a trip to Dubai. And drug resistant in China, bird flu rises concern. And now it is said that it is airborne. Also, more on the game changer Russia to sell its arms, anti-aircraft systems to Syria. and also onto the train crash. That is on the extinction protocol if you guys want to look into it. Also, PGE and workers say lied about inspections. Now, this right here was given to me by a subscriber on the channel. Very interesting information. All of these manhole covers and telephone poles that have been blowing and exploding just over the past week or so. You know, I can't really find anything on it just as quite yet, because this is from December 2012. But I'm going to keep looking into it because it's happening in San Diego and all over California. And then we had reports in Texas, New York, Washington State. You know, so it's happening all over the place. We need to keep an eye out on this. You know, also the PGE transformers go up in flames in Old East Davis. This was May 17th, 2013. It's getting worse. So we have to keep an eye out on all these explosions. You know, you got train derailments. Then you got, you know, transformers exploding. And then you have manhole covers exploding. And then you have, like, bridges collapsing. And, you know, all kinds of just straight chaos fear, you know. It's just ridiculous. Also, tropical depression, TWOE forecast advisory. There is a tropical depression warning right now for parts of Mexico and the Luganas and the Baca di Pijeja, Japan. I can't pronounce it. But, yeah, for the next 24 hours, so we're going to keep an eye out on that. You know, so there he goes. Tropical storm warning or depression warning. Also, currently investigating 77 fireball reports. More reports coming in from North Carolina, you know, Montana, Illinois, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, Texas, Maryland, Baltimore. The Comet derailed the train. Altoona, PA, New Jersey, Baltimore, Maryland, again. All up through here. Lots more reports coming in, folks. You know, 74 on the 26th, 31 on the 27th. A whole rack on the 18th. Even on the 17th, 16th, and on the 1st, all the way down through. A lot of reports. Lunar Meteor Hunter's blog spot showing all these reports, and new reports coming in over here on the West Coast. Another report over here, Australia. Keep our eyes out on this, folks. Looks like U.S. is getting peppered again as QE2 comes into the line of sight. Here is the latest LASCO C2 image of the sun. It doesn't really look like much is happening right now. Looks like the sun's trying to do something, but not really. I mean, still lost to blue here as the satellite down here, but huge electron storm still in progress. Radiation storm has died down, KP index has died down. So, you know, right now it's normal and quiet. So no more geomagnetic storms and no coronal hole streams. Nothing, just a huge electron storm. Of course, they don't like talking about that kind of stuff. But as you can see, cosmic ray density on its way back up. Cosmic ray density acting stupid over here. Pitch angle still acting retarded. Something to pay attention to. Also, you know, down here, the muon monitor still acting up. And look at this. Remember, we had that huge drop. Then it was leveled off, started to drop again. And then now a huge ramp up on the McMurray real-time data. Because of all these electrons. If people are angry today and getting violent, is because of the electrons. Take it easy on your fellow citizens. Also, 4.8 in Japan, 4.6 Japan, 5.0 Japan. Ooh, Japan's a shaking right now. California to 2.8, Virgin Islands 3.7, 5.3 in Kamchatskaya, Russia, 4.5 Indonesia, 4.5 Indonesia, Arizona 2.7, 4.3 Indonesia, 4.6 Indonesia. You know, Ashashkuk, or I can't pronounce that. 4.4, another 5.0 Fiji, 4.9 in New Zealand. You know, even Nevada, a little bit of shaking and rattling going on, 2.9. Okay. So as you can see, look at all these quakes. I mean, oh, we just had one pop off, 4.8 Taiwan. Okay, so here are all the big ones. But over here, it's rocking and a rolling right now. You know, Arizona had a magnitude 3 and a 2.7. 2.2 in Nevada, 2.8 Southern California. You know, not some more in Nevada. Something to watch here. Washington, state of Washington had a 2.4. Right north of it, British Columbia in Canada, 2.2. Whole bunch of little ones in Oregon, Washington, Canada. We had some off the coast over here as well. So something to keep an eye on there as well. Also RSOE, showing the heat wave over here, still in India. You know, don't know what this is. Up hazmat in state of Queensland. In Australia, you know, anybody over there, mates, update me what's going on. Extreme weather over here in Brazil. Volcanic eruption down here in Chile. Also the volcanic eruption over here in Mexico at Mount Popo. Volcanic eruption over here in Hawaii as well. And Kalauau. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Also Povlov volcano. I don't know why it's not showing it erupting, because it is erupting right now. Also another volcanic eruption over here in the Pagan region. You know, more radioactivity over here in Japan. Some more earthquakes over here. Something to keep an eye on, folks. Also here on the heart meter, you know, still some minor plasma penetration. Even though it's saying we're not currently in a storm. But we are getting plasma penetration. Also, Exorcist squad hired to fight Satan in Madrid. If you guys want to read into this, very interesting article. So there you go, folks. That is your outer world news. And if there is any late and breaking news, you know I've got your backs throughout the night, so on and so forth. Any large earthquakes, solar, you know, activity, and hopefully this, you know, WW3 Venus thing doesn't slam Earth. What if it is Planet X? I guess we don't know. Alright, so there we go, folks. Just wanted to go ahead and get that out to you. You know, I'm sorry about the long news today. Just so much going on. There you go, folks. Like always, much love to you all, and may God bless us all.